feel? You've just signed for another 2 years and takes your tenure past the decade. That must be a fantastic feeling.
Oh, it's an awesome feeling to know that Netball Queensland and Catherine have the confidence and the belief in me to take the Firebirds and through to 2020. So I'm really excited.
You've achieved a lot at the Firebirds, and often when players or coaches in any sport achieve that much, they want to go and test themselves somewhere else. Was there any itch to go and maybe try your hand at another team, go and sort of test your wares somewhere else?
No, not at all. I'm really passionate about the Firebirds. I'm passionate about Netball Queensland and netball in Queensland in its general, and it's really exciting times for netball with the new home of netball opening at the beginning of 2019, and we've got fantastic young players coming through, and I want to be part of that going into the future.
What is it over the next 2 years, Rose, that is specific? Dyslexia is a terrible disease. Specifically, that excites you, as you say.
The home of netball state at Kessels Road, corner of Kessels and Mains Road, new building, a building that we haven't had in this state for netball before, being able to train at the one venue, being able to walk through the doors and have all our history plastered all over the doors, have that real sense of belonging for all of the state. That's really exciting, and to be part of that journey and to extend that is really exciting. I've been here now since 2010, and to continue that on and see that come to life is very exciting.
With that will come expectation now. We look at this season, are you still holding high expectations of the group?
Always have the highest expectations. We want to be successful. We talk about being successful. We have had a lot of success in the past, but every year you have to reinvent yourself, and it's hard. And that's what makes it so great, because it is hard. It's not easy to achieve and win championships. We've been close throughout this season. We should have probably had 2 more wins than what we've got. We had a poor performance against Magpies, but we're really looking to rectify that going down to Adelaide and playing against the Thunderbirds on Sunday.
Michael just mentioned that whether you were interested at all in testing the waters. Looking beyond club rugby, is there aspirations to hold the national job? I think you're assistant coach.
Yeah, I was assistant coach to the Diamonds, and no, not really at the present time. My daughter's here in Brisbane with me. She's going to uni now, and we've got a great life here. If I was asked at a later stage and I felt that I really wanted to, then maybe. But at the present time, I'm really happy being with the Firebirds and with Netball Queensland. They've been incredibly supportive of me over the years, and I want to continue giving back here.
Adelaide's kind of struggled this year, but they've sort of found form a little bit later. They're building nicely. Is there sort of a bit of a worry that they might click this weekend?
They are building nicely, and there's always that unknown that they could click this week, and we expect them to click. We want to have a great game against them. We want to be able to play against the best this week. We want to be challenged. So they've had 2 great games against the Lightning and also the Swifts, where they were really close to winning quarters, and they got 2 quarters against the Swifts. So we're expecting that they're playing in their home stadium where it's the 8th player, that the crowd will really get behind them, and they'll come out with a real bang and take it to us. And however, our focus has to be on what we can control and what we need to do, and we have to play better than what we did previously, and we want to play better.
With no disrespect to the Thunderbirds at all, but the way their games have gone, with the exception of the Swifts, this is a real opportunity to grab maximum points, and you can more than just put yourself up the ladder. You could really cement a spot in the top 2 if you grab all the points that are on offer.
Yeah, we'd love all 8 points. We've spoken about all 8 points. However, the reality is that we have to do the work first and not look at the outcome. So we've got to make sure that we're beating our opponent firstly. In attack, that we're using the ball really well and we're scoring really well. In defence, we have to be tight, we have to be hard at it, and we have to work and be connected as a whole unit right across to be able to get those 1 quarter to 4 quarters and then the extra.
So Coach, how do you find that sort of new point system where teams are sort of getting rewarded for winning quarters as opposed to really winning games of netball?
It's really interesting. I really prefer that you need to be rewarded for winning the game, firstly. However, it's challenging, being with this, the point system. Swifts would probably argue that if it wasn't just about winning, that they would be up there in the four, so instead of Lightning, because they've won probably equal games. It makes it interesting, and it will be really interesting to see how it all ends up at the end of the year, and whether they feel that it's been justified in bringing in this change.
There'll be that discussion, I imagine, between the coaches in particular, that they'll press.
I think that it will be a discussion between all the franchises and the MOs. It's exciting, and it's making quarters really close. However, I think the reward for winning has to outweigh the points. So whether they then have more reward for a game in 6 points as opposed to just the points, then that will be up for discussion. But I definitely think that it's got its pros and cons, and it will be at the end of the season to see how equal the ladder comes out.
Just you saying before, you're still very hopeful, obviously, of making the finals this year, and we're by no means suggesting that you're out of it. What do you think?
Not.
No, definitely not. Still half the season to go. What do you think is different about this side? What have you changed after missing the finals last year? Is it just having Laura back, Mahalia back, or have you changed any approach, any style of play? What is it different about this team?
We've still got the same front end, bar for Mahalia, that we had in 2015, 2016 last year. We've got a young defence end. We've got Laura back, so she brings a lot of experience, which is fantastic. Kimmy J and Tara, 20-year-olds, so it's different in that we don't have that experience right there in front of Laura, and so it's about making sure that we get them out on court at different periods to be able to build that experience for them and for the team. It's different from last year because they've got some of those young players, it's their second year, so Kimmy J and Gemma, they're a little bit more sure of themselves and a little bit more confident of being able to step out and perform because they know that they can, because they have done previously.
With those young players, is it harder to give them court time, as vital as it is to allow them to have a bit of time with the point system now, the bonus point system? Is it harder to get them out on court when each quarter is so sort of valuable?
It hasn't been, because we've had to change up our centre court line a number of times. We did it in Lightning, we did it in Swifts, we've done it again in the Collingwood game. So all those little bits, whether it's 5 minutes or 20 minutes, it all adds to gaining that experience. And if you can build on that, then that goes so much better for the following year. And you can see that with what Swifts are doing with Bryony Akel, and she's getting all her players out there, and I just think that that's a really good, great for Swifts moving forward.
Rosalie, do you feel like you've finally been embraced now by the locals? I mean, when you took over initially, it was quite controversial with Vicky Wilson stepping, pushed aside. So do you feel as though now you're part of the local fabric?
It was controversial, but by no means Vicky was never pushed aside. I'm very much a local. I love Queensland. I've got a driver's licence now that is a Queensland driver's licence, so as soon as I got that I felt like I was naturalised. It's a great lifestyle here. And we've got our home here now. Sold everything up in Victoria, so I'm definitely feel like I've been well and truly accepted.